Doctor Strange has been announced for Spider-Man 3, and yeah, here I am talking about Jamie Foxx's Electro. Yeah, don't worry, this is going to be somewhat of a 2-in-1 video, since Doctor Strange still falls under the main topic at hand here. So looking at the recent developments in relation to MCU Spider-Man 3, or Spider-Man Homesick, whatever you want to call it, things are looking very interesting. Because with recent announcements, it does raise a lot of questions on what the direction could be for the next film. Case in point, I am referring to the shocking revelation in that Jamie Foxx will be reprising his role as Electro for the next film. In which I don't think anyone saw it coming, and I don't think many people were expecting this revelation either. Because the entire concept of an actor reprising a role within a different universe is almost unheard of. And like I said, seeing Jamie Foxx as Electro again does raise several questions in which I do want to discuss. Now before I do focus on the main question at hand, I do want to express my overall thought on Jamie Foxx reprising his role as Electro again, which honestly I am glad to see him come back as Electro because I thought he was one of the major highlights of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And just to clarify, when he was Electro. Now, as for the question of the day here, is this going to be the exact same Electro that we've seen previously in The Amazing Spider-Man 2? Or will Jamie Foxx be portraying an Electro from the MCU, with no ties to the Amazing Spider-Man continuity? And with what evidence and information we have at our disposal at the moment, it does seem like this could be a massive contradiction on both sides. And why people are assuming that Jamie Foxx's Electro could potentially be from the Amazing Spider-Man series jumping straight into the MCU, because of the entire concept of Spider-Verse and how the MCU will be dipping its toes into the overall multiverse within the near future. And if this was to be the case, in that this is actually going to be a multiversal film, then that would be a pretty logical explanation behind Electro's return. But then if you look at Jamie Foxx's Instagram, where he does talk about his return as Electro, he does state that he will not be blue in this new installment, in which would shoot down the idea of his Electro being from the Amazing Spider-Man universe. But then at the same time, why would he post a fan picture featuring the Spider-Verse that does feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? So if we were to ignore the photo Jamie Foxx had posted and just focus on the caption instead, then it's easy to assume that's going to be a similar situation to that of J.K. Simmons' J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU, where yes, both actors are reprising their respective roles, although both are from a completely different universe now. And this would have been the original conclusion I would have formed for this video, but then it's just been confirmed as of this recording that Doctor Strange will be coming back for Spider-Man 3 and will be the mentor for Spider-Man. And this is especially interesting because for all intents and purposes, Doctor Strange is the key to the multiverse. So once again, the whole prospect of Jamie Foxx's Electro and the Spider-Verse is all the more plausible now. And on top of that, Kevin Feige did mention that Spider-Man is the only character who can hop between the MCU and Sony's Spider-Verse. And while it is clear that he only meant as in from film to film, what if he meant it in a literal sense? What if this is going to be the explanation behind Spider-Man's exit from the MCU, assuming that this is still going to be the last MCU Spider-Man film? And what if Spider-Man 3 is going to be somewhat of a semi-Spider-Verse film in which we do see remnants of not just the Amazing Spider-Man characters, but also the Sam Raimi universe as well? Now, whether this is all legitimate in that Jamie Foxx's Electro automatically means a Spider-Verse-centric film, I wouldn't necessarily rule the possibility out just yet, but at the same time, there could be this chance in that we are looking too deep into this. But whatever the case may be, Jamie Foxx's Electro does mean something pretty big for the MCU, which I find to be pretty exciting. Because if Jamie Foxx can return as Electro in the MCU, then there's some potential hope in that Charlie Cox could actually appear as Daredevil in the movies, and that he can finally appear in the full MCU. Or even crazier, we could see the return of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine if he has a certain desire to reprise that role again. A little off topic for a conclusion, mind you, but yeah, it's pretty much a plausibility now. So how do you feel about Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro for the MCU Spider-Man 3? Are you excited for his return? Do you believe that he's from the Amazing Spider-Man universe? And also, what do you personally think of Doctor Strange appearing in Spider-Man 3? And do you believe that this is going to open up the floodgate for a Spider-Verse film? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.